Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, gang? Welcome into Victory Friday. My name is Clayton. This is PTA. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us on this glorious Black Friday, November the 28th. That's Tim over there in Green Bay, Wisconsin, here to talk about this Packers dub over the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. I tell you, man, we're spoiled as a fan base. I'm just going to say it. Seems like every time we play on Thanksgiving, we get to have one of these Victory Friday shows, and the guys show up, and man, I don't know about you guys. I'm thankful to be a Packer fan and how awesome social media has been. This whole celebration, the funny memes. We're going to walk through all of it today, and that's what this whole Victory Friday is going to be for. We're going to take you inside the locker room, let you hear what Matt LaFleur had to say to the guys. We're also going to do a Tay Wicks segment. I'm really excited about, who just absolutely balled out yesterday. We'll have some of the sound bites from the telecast. So you guys can hear that and relive it and talk about some of the statistics, some of the chatter on social media about that. We'll talk Matt LaFleur hanging them out there. And if you guys know, you know, and we got a meme for that, which, by the way, hit social media and absolutely cracked me up. We'll do a little Jordan Love segment outside of the Tay Wicks stuff. What did Jordan Love do on the day? And obviously with Watson and Musgrave and the guys, Micah Parsons balled out. We'll hit on some of the key statistics from that, which is wild, to say the least. Him paying homage to Reggie White. Pretty cool little situation there yesterday as well. Post-game turkey, salute, all that good stuff. And then we'll get into, of course, the Devontae Wyatt injury and what it may mean for the Packers coming down the stretch here. So also today you got a huge game. You got the Bears versus the Eagles at 3:00, right? And we're going to be doing – I know I will. I don't want to hold Tim to it or Jacob or anybody else, but if everything goes as planned, I will be in here doing a watch party. We're going to be doing a hate watch party for the Bears.
Get ready to go.
Be giving you play-by-play and just kind of talking Packers while the Bears game's going on and reacting to that. Obviously, if the Bears lose today, the Packers are back in first place in the NFC North. But that's what's on tap today. So if this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your morning. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. I want to thank everybody here lately who's been hitting the like button. You guys continue to smash that like button for us. It is absolutely cranking the algorithm, and our content's getting out there to more Packer fans. Therefore, the community's growing. We can keep adding to this awesome group we got here. Tim, you got anything you want to hit before we dive into anything, man? Happy Victory Friday here, dude. It's a good day. I seen you sipping the coffee. You're probably like me. You ate way too much food yesterday, right?
Yeah, man, definitely. And leftovers today for sure. Maybe in the next couple of days. But no, it was a wonderful holiday, and the Packers got the dub, man. I'm happy to be here, and the diesel's kicking in here in a minute. I'll wake up here in a few minutes, man. Let's get it done though. Let's hit the. We're gonna hit the locker room, the post game locker room celebration.
I think we are. We're gonna get
the tunnel. Can we get the tunnel celebration?
And we got us a couple of screen grabs we'll use here to pop up on the screen. I added for you, Tim. We got this one, of course. Glorious. Love it, right? Love it. And then, of course, we got the Matt LaFleur wink, and we had to add that one, right? So we'll clean that one up a bit so it doesn't cover the whole screen. Let's use this one most of the day, though, if that's all right. And I'll let you know when I need them. And I appreciate you jumping in here this morning, man. Let's get into the victory cam. We shouldn't need it for this. It's just the tunnel victory cam. The guys coming back off the field after the dub, and then we'll get into the locker room speak from Matt LaFleur. Here we go.
Hey, the dub, man. Let's go.
Look, bro. I ain't got much to say, bro.
We got a dub on Thanksgiving. Talk about in here. Big dog. Yeah. Dubs on Thanksgiving, man. There's no better feeling. Go Pack. Big dub. Just get it. Woo. Yeah.
Cool. Lasso.
Hey, the dub, man.
Love it. The guys are.
Javon Bullard is the best on that video. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bull had me cracking up.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. And listen, Matt LaFleur's got this team cranking, and it just seems like every week somebody else goes down with an injury, and it's a significant injury, and they just continue to put together winning football and really a football team that can constantly compete, man. You can't say enough about what Matt LaFleur's done here. And I know the haters have disappeared until we lose a game, and it's going to happen. We're going to lose a game at some point, and they're going to come right back out and say that he needs to be fired and this and that. But for the time being, man, Matt LaFleur just continues to climb that winning percentage list all time and just figures out a way to win these ball games, even though you've got half of your damn roster either on injured reserve or banged up at least. But here was Matt LaFleur, a fired up Matt LaFleur in the locker room with his guys immediately following the game. And this, you can find this over on Packers.com. You can find it at the Packers Twitter page too, at Packers. So here we go. Say, quote, "How'd that delicious turkey taste?" A quote here from Matt LaFleur. Here we go.
How'd that turkey taste?
Oh, I feel they did that. So instead of the F-bomb, they said delicious. Packers put delicious in it. Love to see it.
That is how you compete. That was playoff football. It took all 60 minutes, all 3 phases. Give it up for yourself, man. That's what it's going to take moving forward, too. I got 3 game balls, man. I got 3 game balls today. This first guy, we threw 4 tutties on the day. Okay, love.
Hey, man, like I said, man, love you boys, man. I'm thankful on this day to do this. And, man, come out. Hey, O-line, man. No sack, boy.
This next guy had 2.5 sacks, and in doing so, becomes the first guy in NFL history to have 12 plus sacks in his first 5 years.
The first person to ever do that in the history of the game. That's a wild stat.
Just truthfully, just coming on this day, playing this game, I just realized I'm just thankful for everybody, bro. Like, truthfully, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be in this position. I'm thankful that the organization believed in me and brought me here, and that I could do these special things with you guys. So let's just keep doing these special things, dog. I'm here with y'all. Man, y'all know I'm going 100% every time for y'all, so just know that. And we're going to get this.
With what looked like a little bit of blood on his jersey. Did you notice that, Tim? A little battered up. Love it.
This last guy. This guy had 6 for 90.
Bring it out.
Oh,
Let's go.
It's the best day to tell y'all, boys. I'm thankful for everybody in here. You know, and it's a lot of people that keep me in it. And I'm thankful for that. I never take this for granted. We just gotta keep this going.
every week you notice that whoever they have to break it down at the end, they always say, Tim, every single time they say, hey, we ain't done. Hey, we got work to do. We got to get back in here and go back to work. Like you could tell there's no resting there, right? It's a young team, but you could tell this team is they've got their eye on the prize, man. It's exciting.
Yeah, ready to go 1-0 every week, right? That's the attitude, that's the demeanor. And again, like, you know, we've mentioned several times on this pod and on this show that those guys are playing for each other out there. There's no me guys out on this football team. These guys are going to war for each other every week and picking each other up. You know, you see Jordan Love getting the game ball, and the first thing he does is thank his O-line for, you know, keeping him off the turf and not giving up a sack and playing good football. And you know, you got Micah Parsons, you know, speaking to that team, saying he's going to go 100% for his guys, and those guys are going to go 100% for him and, you know, pick each other up. So I think, like I had said yesterday after the game, man, a lot of you haters owe Matt LaFleur an apology, man. He's got these boys humming, playing together, and we're getting ready to go ahead and spank the Chicago Bears at home. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. 2-0 for this says Wicks is following the Devontae timeline if he can keep this up. He really is. And we kind of talked about it, man. He actually was ahead of Devontae did I say Wyatt? I meant Devontae Adams. Sorry if I said Wyatt. He's actually ahead of Devontae Adams' timeline because Devontae Adams struggled with catches. Devontae Adams didn't have that awesome rookie year that Tay Wicks had. Tay Wicks had a really strong rookie year, graded out really, really well according to PFF. His yak over expected was through the roof. There was all these little nuggets going, this is going to be a good football player. And then sophomore slump hit, had some drops, and that's where people kind of draw that parallel with Devontae Adams having the drop issue. And then, of course, this year he looks like he's closer to that rookie year than he is last year. Obviously, this game here, man, I mean, we'll get into the PFF grades later this evening, obviously. But, yeah, I completely agree over this. I think that's very well said, man. He's just – again, it's another reason why you shouldn't give up on young players, right? And you got to give them time to develop. And my rule of thumb is 3 years. Give them at least 3 years. And if you don't see a steady improvement, kind of like we talk about a prospect who's ascending into the league, they are starting to ascend by their third year. You want to see them, okay, they took a step. Then you got to make a decision in replacing them after their fourth year. Now, they could break out in their fourth year. And now that's a good problem to have because you've already tried to start to replace them, and now you're heavy at that position, right? So, and that's why it's important to keep focused, I think, on the important positions, the tier one positions of importance. But you got to make sure those other holes in the roster are filled too. But I completely agree over this. He's again, man, he's looking like a solid wide receiver. He looks stronger too. Tim Wicks, man. Heck, we'll just get into it. So that was a pretty good segue there. As a matter of fact, we'll dive into it. Let me hit the super chat. And then I want to get your take on Wicks. Mike Witt with the super chat. Hey, guys, happy Victory Friday. If Wyatt is indeed out for the year, do they call Christian Wilkins' agent and try to work out a deal? Or no, one more thing, fly, Eagles fly today. Amen to that. The Christian Wilkins thing is tough for me, Mike, because I was one that wanted Christian Wilkins when he was in free agency. Like, I didn't go, hey, we got to go get him because they thought how can I say this? The front office knew what they had in Devontae Wyatt, and obviously this defense is way better with Devontae Wyatt on the field. Now, I'm not saying he's playing at Christian Wilkins' level when Christian Wilkins was dominating in, I believe, Miami, but the reality is Christian Wilkins has got personal issues. I don't know if they're willing to bring that in-house, and if you guys know the details on what happened, it kind of got leaked out. Just doing some really strange stuff. And I don't know how to say it without it being awkward, Tim, but you talking about a guy who's touching opponents inappropriately on the field and then do it in the locker room too, it sounds like. So it's just, good football player, but there's been a lot of good football players come through the league that just can't stay on the field and can't get out of their own way. It kind of feels like Christian Wilkins is that dude. Change of scenery could change things up, but also you got to go to your leadership council there, Tim, and ask them. You got to go to the leaders on your team and go, hey, how would you guys feel about this? And if they say, no, we don't need that, we got the guys in-house, you got to trust your boys. And I think that's the best way to handle that, rather than just going all of a sudden they come into work one day and this guy's in the locker room and then you go, what the hell's going on here? I've got my boy who's been bleeding in the trenches with me for the last 12 weeks, and then you bring this knucklehead in who acts like a complete moron, doing just stupid stuff constantly. Does that make sense? How do you feel about that whole situation there, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, I think Mike's not wrong to think that way. That hey,
right.
We lost a key player on that defensive line, and maybe you want to start looking around for you're not replacing a guy like Devontae Wyatt. I mean, he's just irreplaceable. You need guys to step up. So you want to fill that void until he can get back on the field. But yeah, I'm with you, man. If you got a guy that's got, off the field extracurricular stuff going on, or, his head's not in the right space, we just talked about how well this team is clicking together and playing for each other. You don't want to bring a locker room cancer into your organization. And not saying that unequivocally that Wilkins is that dude, but, you already know he's coming with baggage. And, regardless of the output on the field, if he's going to be a problem for your organization, then I would think the guys probably don't even want to roll the dice on that one. And I'm looking forward to seeing who steps up on this Packers team. We've got some young men on that defensive front. We got to see a little bit yesterday. Maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of Mr. Brinson and Mr. Stackhouse out there. So, all is not lost yet, but we'll see what happens. And yes, Mike's also right. Fly Eagles fly today. Beat the Bears. Let's go.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the snap count and what I think the interior defensive lineman is going to look like moving forward without White. I'm assuming he's out for the year. We'll get you guys that information as soon as it breaks later this afternoon. So make sure that you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live for that info. Sounds like it's pretty bad. But yeah, again, Mike, I'm not disagreeing. If it was just Christian Wilkins,
Christopher Walken.
I'm so tired, Tim. Man, we got home late last night. I'm just wore out. If it's Christian Wilkins on the football field, none of the baggage, I'm probably going, heck yeah, dude. Why is he still out there? Why is he available? Again, that's why he's available, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. But let's switch gears here, Tim. Let's talk a little bit deeper on Mr. Dontavian Wicks. So if you'll
That's
get me
right.
that,
Nobody's going to call him Don Travion anymore. I think everyone's going to know his name after yesterday.
Absolutely. And this kind of leads us in, Mike Witt, with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, the scary thing is with this offense, imagine if we get yesterday's version of Wicks with Reed, Golden, and Williams for the stretch run. I've been really impressed with Brinson, too, on defense. So, yeah, that's a great point, man. You get Reed back, get Golden healthy, get Savion back in the fold, get that heavy rotation of those wide receivers in and out. Christian Watson continuing to do what he's doing. But, yeah, Wicks, you're spot on there, man. With this version of Wicks, this team can be deadly. Thank you for that super chat. Tim, give me that Turkey Day screenshot if you don't mind. And here we go. This is the TV call from the Jordan Love to Dontavian Wicks, 4-6. Man, you could tell he's been working on those hands. Let's hear Tom Brady and whoever that other guy was. Who was the other guy, Tim? I'm trying to remember, man.
Kevin Burkhardt.
Kevin Burkhardt. There you go. Here we go. Here they were with the call on this touchdown catch.
Love looking, floating for the corner. Wicks, he is
absolute dime piece, too, boys. I mean, a dime piece. You could not have thrown that ball any better. You could drop that down now, Tim. I want to put Wendell's tweet up here. Wendell Ferreira over on X put this tweet up and said, seriously, you want to complain about the false start? Correct. You don't want to mention the DPIs and the fake illegal use of hands? Okay, that's being a fan. But saying this was not a catch is complete insanity. You could see the screen grab. The ball is in Wicks's hands. Right foot's already down. Obviously, he gets the left foot down. Right. This was a touchdown catch. Now, the ball, did it move a little bit as he's going to the ground? We've seen this 1,000 times. I don't like the way the rules are. I've been very, very vocal that I think the ball should not be allowed to move, but the rules are the rules. And I'm telling you, every week we see somebody get awarded a catch and the ball's slightly shifting or they're putting it in another hand as they're getting the second foot down. So it was a hell of a throw. I mean, look at that throw, Tim.
Yep.
Like, seriously. You maybe a little, just 6 inches outside, but other than that, you can't throw it any better. And Wicks just making a great contested catch, gets his ankle rolled up a little bit, didn't stop him, came right back into the game. What'd you think of that grab right there, man? And that was Eli Berkovitz, by the way, that put the second tweet out that Wendell quote tweeted there.
Yeah, Book of Eli. Make sure you follow him on X too. Great follow. Yeah, Tay Wicks playing big boy football right there. And one of several absolute dime throws from Jordan Love in this ball game. Chalk Talk is going to be fun watching him just carve up Detroit. But I love it, man. Tay Wicks, the hands, we talked about the drop issues last year. And I don't know if anybody worked harder in the offseason to get right than Dontavian Wicks, honestly. And you see it now. He's only had a couple drops this year and absolute clutch catches when you need it the most. And then, yeah, the toe drag swag and the footwork to follow it. You got a quarterback that can drop that ball in between coverage like that and trust your receiver to go get it. I mean, we are poised for a playoff push with this type of lineup. So, yeah, you got to tip your cap to Tay Wicks, man. Extremely impressed. I think, based on what we saw during the offseason, I think Tay Wicks and Carrington Valentine probably put in the most personal time and work, other than Christian Watson working on that rehab. But can't say enough about it. Hard work pays off, right? I mean, you talked about Tay Wicks looking like he added maybe 10 pounds of muscle. Looks like he's more, physically cut and stronger, just as fast. And then now the hands are there. I mean, what a great catch.
Yeah.
That back shoulder that Jordan threw him open on also was incredible catch. Played a really good game. Probably his best game of the year for sure. No doubt.
Yeah. Doug in the chat says Lion fans losing their mind on X couldn't happen to a better worse fan base. Yeah. And again, they talked so much trash. So much. There's so many receipts out there. It is unbelievable. It's been a blast on social media the last last 12 hours or so. It seems like, at least the last, I know I went to bed grinning like a possum in a dumpster, and I woke up grinning. As soon as I was like, yeah, that really happened. Those poor Lion fans are still out there crying. So it's just what an awesome game to watch. All right, keeping the theme here with Dontavion, or as Emilio calls him, Dontravion Wicks. Here was another touchdown catch. This was an RPO from Jordan to Dontavion Wicks. And what they've got here, actually, let me drop that down for just a second so you can kind of see it here a little bit. What they've got is that bunch left, and that's a bunch trips left look, okay? So you're nub right on the right side, just a tight end. So this is a 3-by-1 set with the tight end attached on the other side. I mean, you can run the ball here or you can pass it. Notice the hat count up top. You've got two guys outside. That inside third defender, it's going to be hard to get to Wicks, who's lined up in the 3, if you throw a bubble out there or a smoke route, right? And that's exactly kind of what they do. They let him get outside on a bubble or a flat out of the RPO run pass option, so you can hand the ball off if you want. They like their hat count outside. Jordan said, let's just go ahead and pick up a tutter here. So let's listen to the TV call on this. Again, this is the Jordan Love touchdown pass to Dontavion Wicks on the RPO.
Someone wide open. On the fake, Love throwing it. Wicks makes a catch. Lunging. He's in. Number 2 for Wicks, and another one for Green Bay.
So another one of those, Tim. Great hands catch. And then great body control by Dontravion Wicks, where he catches the football. And they said a play fake. It technically is a play fake because Jordan puts the ball in the belly like he's going to hand it off, and he looks at that hat count and just slings it out there to Wicks. But Wicks, to be able to catch the ball, get possession, turn, get the ball over the pylon, and maintain possession, not fumble it through the end zone that you see every week. Man, what a phenomenal play, dude. So now you've seen, Tim, the previous, touchdown. What did you see? It was almost like a hole shot, right? Yep. Perfect throw by Jordan. Catches it, takes a lick, gets both feet in bounds, maintains possession. Then you see him on a quick pass RPO, a little bit of rack to get into the end zone for the touchdown. You're checking all the boxes, man, with Wicks. You really are.
It's like Jordan said in one of his post-game interviews, we knew they were going to play a lot of man. We knew what they were going to try and do, and we were ready for it. And great execution. And, what can you say about Tay Wicks that we haven't already said, man? That the hands are definitely stronger than they were last season, no doubt. That is no joke. Like you said, having to control your body, keep yourself in bounds, break the plane at the goal line, and keep possession. That's it's not an easy task when you've got defenders bearing down on you. So, again, tip your cap to Tay Wicks. Incredible play.
Yeah, Mike Witt with the super chat says, I think the worst call was the ridiculous PI call on 25 on Detroit's last possession. The wide receiver plows into him, and they call it on Nixon. What a joke. So true. And again, that was the one where I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this. Like the fact that you did not call the pass interference with Christian Watson going up to catch it, and the guy grabs his left arm and pulls it back down to where he can't even use both hands to try to catch the ball. No pass interference. A receiver runs straight into Keyshawn Nixon, and they call illegal contact or whatever it was, PI. I'm not sure exactly what the call was.
That's what I was saying last night. Like, just be consistent.
Right.
Okay, you missed the call on Scoot, then you better not call that on Keyshawn, man. Just let it be a no call, both sides.
Yep. Completely agree, man. Completely agree. Thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate you, buddy. Mike, thank you. And then Nick McSwain in the chat says, Lions fans been saying, just wait till Thanksgiving since week 1. LMAO. It's so true.
Belt to ass. Shut up.
Breaking it back out. I'm telling you. All right, next play. So when the game's on the line, think player, not play, right? That's Pat Kerwin, 101. That's take your eye off the ball. This next broadcast call here is game on the line, right? This is a 4th down pass. You decide to go for it on 4th down. LaFleur did. We'll talk about LaFleur here in a second. He's coming up next. And then, of course, who do you look for, Tim? You look for Dontavion Wicks. And just so happens he caught this ball on Brian Branch, too, which makes it so much sweeter.
So much sweeter.
Here we go. Here is the call. Them looking back at the replay, I believe. Tom Brady on the call with Fox NFL.
But Wicks with Branch right in his hip pocket. You cannot be any tighter than that. And Love feels the heat of Aleem McNeil. What a catch to seal the game. Hanging in the pocket. Good for them. Going on the road. Tough environment. Huge game. Answer the bell. Back foot.
Again, we'll talk Matt LaFleur here in a minute. Let's stick on Wicks for a second. So hard not to mention Matt LaFleur because, golly, what a hell of a play call there. And again, man, you talking about it on third down, then fourth down, and just continuing to decide to pass the ball. Look at this shot right here, guys.
Look at that.
I mean,
how about these hands?
So I had to pull out the quote. Remember when Brian Branch said earlier in the season, I just felt like they were bullying me out there, crying and everything after he basically walked over and sucker punched somebody and then blamed them, said they were bullying him, right? So I had to throw the quote out there. But Tim, that catch, man, I mean, seriously, he got a guy, looks like he's getting shanked in the throat, right?
Yep.
And here you got Wicks, just, I mean, diamond pattern, everything you're taught. I mean, look at this cat back here. You think he ain't impressed? That guy's got a family, and I guarantee you they don't appreciate the side profile, do they, Tim? That's just not a good look. Man.
We need a defensive tackle, man. Maybe that guy's available.
See if he can play the one tech for us, right? The Lions fan here too is just hilarious. Look at my guy. He's like, what the hell? Are you serious?
Yep. Right, go back to where you belong, towards the bottom of the division.
Yeah. And then you'll go put the paper bags back over your heads, and your
attendance will be back to 12,000 people per game. Yep, yeah, no problem.
Exactly. Which, by the way, shout out to Stick Radio. If you guys don't know who that is, he's with the Woodward Network. Have
we located him? Is he well and okay?
Last I checked him, he hadn't tweeted in 3 days. This is the guy that talked more trash than any Lions fan. And boy, oh boy, is he getting ratioed right now. I went back and pulled that original tweet that we posted earlier in the year. I was going to show it today, and I'm like, we've seen it enough. It was him talking trash, talking about all the faults that the Packers have. And I just spliced in everything disproving what he said was inaccurate. Their DBs are banged up. We get an interception. Jordan Love's trash. Jordan Love touchdown from the first game. We could have done it again yesterday. But again, Shout out to Stick Radio, man. Where you at, Bob? We miss you. We're worried about you, okay? We need to get you back on socials there. So, but yeah, again, Dontavion Wicks, man, phenomenal day. Anything else you want to add to the Wicks talk before we move on to some Matt LaFleur hanging them out there, Tim?
Yeah, I see he lost his shoe on that play too. Did he run right out of his shoe on that
Wicks
last
did?
catch? I think so. Or it was either Wicks or Branch. Maybe he ran Branch out of his shoe or something.
I didn't even know he lost his shoe. That makes it even better, dude.
Yeah, that was incredible. But yeah, no, you got to credit good old Tupac LaFleur. Balls of steel there on that call, especially after not getting it on third. To go ahead and go for it on fourth and ice the game. Absolutely clutch. I love that he took a page out of Dan Campbell's book and, gave him a taste of his own medicine in his own building. Love it.
Absolutely. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know what you think of Tay Wicks. Do you think he's got what it takes to step up and maybe be the number 2 wide receiver in this offense? Maybe he can be the number 1. Maybe he takes that kind of leap. There was nobody expecting Devontae Adams to be the number 1 his second or third year in the league, right? Let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know how you feel about this offense, how you feel about the receiving core in general. And also make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, Tim. So we kind of talked about it. We're going to go to the call on this play now. All right. Again, I just put a tweet up here on this particular play. We want to talk a little Matt LaFleur here. And I'm so sick of the people talking about he's not aggressive enough. He's not this. He's not that. Right. This dude right here. Oh, my bad. I stepped on your feet.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
This is the actual play. It's just 8 seconds long. Okay. We gave you kind of the breakdown from Tom Brady. This was the live call on it of Jordan Love with the fadeaway pass. Again, guys, you had this is what I put in the tweet. This is why it's important here. Okay. I said, we better never hear another LaFleur hater say he's too conservative. It was 3rd and 3. Detroit had no timeouts, right? And keep in mind, guys, that you can run 40 seconds off the clock on that 3rd down, right? You can literally run 40 seconds off the clock, leave them with roughly a minute left, and they got to go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. You know how many coaches would have played it that way? Your boy right here probably would have played it that way.
Scared money don't make money.
I like our chances with our defense on the field to stop them. Matt LaFleur went out there on 3rd down and said, no, we're not running. We're passing. Threw the ball incomplete. I texted the guys. I was like, God, I wish we'd have ran the football right there. Right. Again, I'm not saying LaFleur should be fired. I'm not saying LaFleur is not I've been very vocal. I think he's too aggressive at times. Right. Going for it on 4th down, passing up on field goals, things like that. But 3rd and 3, Detroit, no timeouts. They passed 4th down instead of punting and pinning them deep and making them go the distance, right? Came out and passed the ball again, and this was the play.
Love looking around, pressure in his face, throws, it is caught! Oh, Dontavian Wicks!
Unbelievable. I love Brady laughing in the background too, Tim. Oh, man, what a moment. What a moment. That's going to be one of those if the Packers go on an epic run here and they end up putting a championship team together this year, we're going to look back on that play and go, man, that was kind of when things turned around a bit. That's when the offense really kind of put everything together. Guys, we talked about how good their defense was, right? They were essentially somewhere around in the 12 range overall, in my opinion. So this is a borderline top 10 defense that you went up against, and you dropped 34 points on them. My goodness, man. So, and then, of course, here's the meme. This may offend some people. If you got kids watching, pause it, get them out of the room. All right. This is from South Park. This meme gets used over and over and over. But here we go. And it says, and I'm not going to play the video because it's not telling what it says, but NFL Memes put a tweet out. Matt LaFleur trying to get into his house for Thanksgiving dinner. And there are two things restricting him from getting through the door if you guys are listening on the pod. But that just absolutely cracked me up, Tim. Anything you'd like to add to it?
I'm speechless. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Wow. The internet is undefeated, right?
They really are, man. Dude, it broke me up when I seen that. But no, in all honesty, though, when you talk about what Matt LaFleur is doing here with this team, youngest team in the league, and now you're missing all these different starters, and you just continue to find ways to win football games. Going into this season, Tim, I had us splitting with the Lions, I had us splitting with the Vikings, and I had us sweeping the Bears. That's kind of how I thought the North would go.
We're gonna F around and sweep them all. Undefeated in the division. Let's go. It's still on the table.
There's definitely a shot here. Now it's looking like the Bears might be the team. If we're going to split with one of them, it's one of those, right? It could be one of those things. Now we'll find out a little bit more about the Bears today. I said that last week against Pittsburgh, and I don't want to be hypocritical, gang. I want to always be honest with you guys on here. When you look at, I see the super chats. We're going to get them here in just a second. When you look at what they're doing here, the Bears, right? And I don't want this to be a Bears segment. We're talking Matt LaFleur, but I'm just saying, I thought, okay, let's see what they do against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was like top 5 or top 6 in turnover margin, right? Now they were without their starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. However, they were able to move the ball pretty effectively on their defense. The Bears were. So you got to tip your cap. They're figuring out ways to win ball games. Tonight against the Eagles, we're going to kind of see. And listen, the Eagles aren't a perfect team. The Eagles aren't this unbeatable powerhouse that some people think they are. They're good. They're a really good team. I think they're one of the top 5, top 10 teams in the league. But we'll get a few more answers to those questions when it comes to the Bears and just how good they are. But back to Matt LaFleur here. Let's see what we got here. A super chat from Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. He says, let's us pray for all of us who have to hear they finally caught the ball. Matt LaFleur is the best coach. Jordan is the MVP. He didn't call the timeout. Refs rigged. Yeah. So the whole timeout thing was hilarious too, because he's shouting the timeout, right? And unless you're on the sideline and you can actually hear it or not, you see Matt LaFleur running down the sideline towards the official, right? Before the guy moves on the false start. Matt said he was screaming timeout. And then all you see is before he does this, you see the false start, right? So obviously if he calls timeout, and they asked the officials afterwards, the officials said, yeah, he called timeout before the penalty. That's their answer over and over. He called timeout before the penalty, called timeout. They didn't say he gestured to us before the penalty. He said he called the timeout before the penalty. That's kind of how I see that. Now, in terms of they finally caught the ball, this and that, right? Like, listen, there have been receivers running open every week, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the drops. And I love that they're continuing to go to Bo Melton, even though he struggled early on, because he was a little bit of a factor yesterday, man. Some of that quick twitch speed, all these things being thrown into the same pot here. Jordan Love, yeah, I don't know if he's an MVP or not, Michael. I feel like he's definitely top 10. He's in the conversation as a top 5 quarterback. I think you got to kind of be unequivocally the top 1 or 2, the top quarterback or the top 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks before you go, okay, MVP level. But who do we give credit for Jordan Love? You got to give it to Matt LaFleur too, right? I mean, it's Jordan, don't get me wrong. We all know that. The player makes the plays. But who molded Jordan? Who has trained Jordan the whole time, right? It's Matt LaFleur. And I don't think McCarthy didn't get enough credit for that with Rodgers. He didn't.
That's true.
And I feel the same way about Matt LaFleur with Jordan Love. So what do you think about that? Anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, and Coach Clements as well. Also, hopefully he's enjoying watching these games as in between rounds of golf or whatever he's doing in retirement. But yeah, I think you got to give the quarterback whisperer Matt LaFleur some credit here with Jordan, and really, like you said, you brought up AR-12. I mean, he actually kind of took Jordan under his wing there those first couple of years, and you see that kind of trickle into Jordan's game now as he's well within his abilities as a pro and a starting quarterback. So yeah, I think give credit where credit's due. Jordan could have been drafted by a lot of teams, and you never know what kind of trajectory his career would have taken. Coming here and being a Packer, being able to work with Matt LaFleur in this system and develop the way we develop quarterbacks makes perfect sense. So you got to give him credit for sure.
Yeah. 2-0 for this in the chat said, notice the major difference between yesterday and the rest of the year is player execution, not play call. Amen.
That's a great point.
And Matt LaFleur hasn't bucked. And again, Michael, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. Matt's never bucked either. You didn't see him panic. Even after those tough losses, you didn't see a guy that was up there panicking at the podium. He's grinning, he's cutting up, he's making jokes. I think it pissed a lot of Packer fans off that he was like that. But he could see the plays are there. We just got to execute better. And we know with a young team, Tim, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take time.
That's probably why he reacted that way, because it's like, if things are going wrong, obviously things went wrong, but you know why, and you know what the reason is, and you know how to fix it. This is the result you get. You learn from your mistakes, and that's a great point from Too Old for This Day. Execution was there, and Matt was in his bag. I mean, we can't take away the credit for the play calls. You mentioned Bo Melton on some of those jet motions and things like that. You need to run the jet motion against a heavy man defense. It helps. You get those guys moving around. It gives Jordan some intel there right before the snap, and even if you don't turn the corner and you're only getting a couple yards, whatever, it's giving you that information that you need to keep the drive, alive down the field. So I think Matt called a great game yesterday. Really do.
And the reason they call it cheat motion is because you're kind of cheating. You're getting your guy full speed. You guys remember back in the old Arena Football League? Remember that league where they could get a run and go towards the line of scrimmage and take off? That's against the rules in the NFL. But moving horizontally like that, you can kind of get that same momentum. Now you're up to full speed and the corner's got to catch up. So like Tim said, it allows you to gather information. Are they in man or are they in zone? And then B, you can out leverage them, by getting a half a step or a full step on that guy out of the gate. And then also that motion flashes across those linebackers' eyes, and the instinct is go that way. Crap, we got to come back this way. Oh no, it's play action. There's a wide open space right behind me because I've hesitated, right? It creates hesitation. It's all those things, right? And you got to have players that can do it. So Mike Witt with the super chat, thank you, says, I think Wicks will be our number 2, Watson number 1, and then 3 and 4 will be Reed and Golden next year, because unfortunately I think 87 leaves in free agency next year. I could see that playing out. I could. And again, that's the beautiful thing about this receiving core when they're making plays, is you don't have to have Golden step up immediately. There's this portion of the fan base that just wants Golden to be the target. If you target him the way Seattle targets JSN, then he would have similar results. I'm not arguing with that, right? But that's not how Matt LaFleur's offense works. Matt LaFleur's offense, you're scheming guys open. It's not just that's the dude, hell or high water, throw him. Now you could try to put him in the number 1 progression in that read, right? Or you could try to put him in, say, let's say a team, they show a lot of cover 2 zone, right? Let's say they show a lot of cover 2 zone on tape, and you're going to come out and go, we're going to go run a pick aside, right? You're going to have a high-low read here, and then let's say we have a flood concept on the other side. Well, knowing that they play cover 2, in that situation, if they're playing hard flat cover 2 as opposed to like a drop cover 2, then let's say they're playing hard flat, then you can put the guy that you want to showcase in the mid read on that flood concept. You can do things like that, right? And I think Matt LaFleur has done that with Golden in the past, but he's also done it with Watson. He's got to do it with Witt. He's got to do it with all these guys. So there's just no room for anybody selfish on this team. And the beautiful thing is Matthew Golden isn't screaming, get me the ball, hell or high water. Christian Watson definitely isn't, which is why I want that dude under contract for the rest of his freaking career. He does the dirty work with those C inserts and blocking and some of those Z to wing sets and everything. So
pay that man his money.
No, I think you make a great point, man. I think that might be Matt LaFleur's plan. Although the only thing I disagree with is when you look at Watson and say he's our number one, what does that mean, right? Some people think that means he gets the majority of the targets. Other people think that means that everything that the offense is going to be built around him and run through him. I see a true number one wide receiver as someone who tilts the field. The defense goes out and says, that's a Tuesday player. We got a bracket cover him. I don't think Watson's there yet, but he's getting there, and it's exciting. And that's nothing against Christian. It's just how the offense is operated that teams know, guys, they're going to try to throw the open guy. They're not going to try to force it to Christian all day. So if you take their eyes off Christian for a minute, guess what? He's the open guy in that particular place. So thank you for that super chat. And Mike again says, I don't think he's MVP, but Love, in my opinion, is comparable to Jalen Hurts. Probably never win an MVP, but you can definitely win a Super Bowl with. I think that's a fair assessment. I do think Love can win an MVP because we've seen those flashes, right, Tim, back half of 2023. Hell, this year, 3 interceptions, right? That's what he's got on the year, 3 interceptions.
He could go on a tear these next few weeks and all of a sudden really be in that conversation. Be careful. You know, Toyotathon is upon us.
It is. It is, sir. And since we're talking about that, before we're going to jump into some Jordan Love talk. Before we do, let us know in the comments, what do you think about Matt LaFleur? Do you think he's turned a corner? Maybe we could put all the criticism behind him. There's still going to be ups and downs. That's the NFL. But man, oh man, does he just continue to climb up that winning percentage ranking and doing it with the youngest team and a banged up team at that. Let us know how you feel about Matt LaFleur. Where would you rank him currently in the NFL? Would you say he's a top 5 coach, top 3 coach? We want to hear from you guys in the comments. And if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future.